Hey, Mark the Meerkat here with Grok Trade with the trade of the day. That's right. Now I want you to watch this video. Listen very carefully. I'm going to give you lots of words of trading wisdom here. Count how many you pick up in this one video and go ahead and post it down at the bottom there how many you think that I actually put out there. There's a lot of them in this video today here. So let's take a look at a trade that we had on Work, W-O-R-K, Slack Technologies. Had their first earnings after their IPO, and bam, they opened up down 12% here at opening right here, and then it dropped, proceeded to drop down here to 26 even dollar amount low a day, and then started to just kind of move around here. We were trading other ones. This was on our initial list here as we were trading, and then we're coming up here on just after 10 o'clock. Now it's coming up at 10:30, and it's now starting to high base right under this 200 moving average. We call it Big Red. Now look back here. When it hit Big Red right at opening, it pulled right back. It tagged Big Red right there, pulled back. Now it's at Big Red again, keeps piercing through it, but doesn't close above it there. So I was telling folks, hey, you could set a trade there, but you know what? I decided to take a break there. We'd had several trades already. I went on break. Well, guess what happened on break? Well, let's look here. Watch. Boom, 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 boom. Boom! Look at that. Just broke right out there. Beautiful breakout of a high base breakout. So I was not in that trade because I was not there. And right now, I come back and I say, well, what's happening here? I'm not in the trade, and look at that. It broke out from 27 even dollar now. Boom, boom, boom. Look at the volume coming in. We call that SEM, somebody else's money. I wasn't in front of the market when it broke out. There wasn't a chance for me to get it. I called it out. Maybe some other people have got into the trade. So let's just see if we get another setup here on this one. Oh man, it's just still running. There's no setup here. That's would be chasing the trade. Don't chase the trade. You have to set your trade, let the market come to you. Those are high probability entries rather than low probability entries and high risk, trying to chase it like this here. So we'll have to wait for another high probability setup. And that's what's happening right here, as it just now pulled back to this line, this 8 EMA, and this 2750 area, and I'm not in the trade yet here, right? So I'm going to go ahead and set up what's called a bull pullback trade. I set my trade. If it breaks out from there, I'm going to be in. If it just crashes down, I'm not in. I'm okay with that. So here we go. We're waiting, and sure enough, boom, it breaks out there, and I'm now long at 27.57 on Work, W-O-R-K, aka Slack Industries. Now I'm going to take my stop. I have an automatic 1% stop that is set, and so that would be down here at about 37, around in this area here. It would automatically be activated as soon as I was in exactly 1% behind. But now I'm right here at this 20 moving average. Let's see here if it's going to break out or not anymore from here. And what happened? Broke out right here, now up to 28 even dollar amount here. Is that one going to be resistance? Well, I have to wait and see here. Now I'm moving my stop up along this 20 moving average. I now have a break-even trade. I'm cool with that. And it's up there. I'm about 2% almost. And then it came right down and hit that 8 EMA. So I'm going to bring this along, this 8 EMA, just below the 2780. I now have an in the money, zero risk trade. Love it when that happens. And it snapped down here. It's sitting here hanging around 28. Let's see what happens here. Oh, it does pull back right to this 8 EMA. Now you see that's acting as a line of support. So you put my stop just below that. That's using that as a shield because it was honoring that. Hadn't closed below it yet here, right? And so what happened after that? Oh, it came right down to right to that area there. Then it popped right back up to $28. So I went ahead and I set up a half order to sell. If it breaks out above 28, I'm going to now just move my half order up. I hadn't activated it yet, but if it starts to pull back, I'm going to take out half. So I have them ready to go here, and it went up above 28, but then it just look at that, smashed right down. So I'm out for the first half at 27.98 for 1.5% on the first half. Now I got to change the number of shares on my second half here, and I'm going to keep it right down here around 2774 area under this 20 moving average here, and that 2780, which it came back to before. And you could give it a little bit of room to pull back again and take off. Or if this is a double top and at $28 and can't break it, well then I'll stop out with a nice little trade there. But let's just wait and see what happened next there. Whoa. Time out for just a minute here. Before we get to the second half of this trade, I've been giving you lots of nuggets of information along the way here. Those nuggets, along with a couple hundred others, are available in our 301 mentoring program. We have one coming up. Now, what is our mentoring program? It is 3 days of intensive training, get you the education you need, but then it's a lifetime of trading of us assisting you applying all of those principles to your trading so you can be a more successful, savvy trader. Now, go to groktrade.com, groktrade.com, and then right up here it says Training Mentor. If you hit that, you can read all about our program. Again, 3 days of intensive training. I think we're going to be setting up one here in September for the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd here in 2019. But again, it's done on a Zoom platform right from the comfort of your own home, and we train people from all over the world at the same time. So you can read about it here, and what we'd like you to do is to set up a call with us, just to find out what your trading is, where you are with your trading, and whether or not our program may be helpful for you. If you want to find out if you qualify, just a basic qualification here, because we don't want to get just to people who aren't real serious minded about this, it says you may not qualify. Go ahead and click there, and there's this little 10-question test to take and see whether or not you have some of the basic understanding that our mentoring may be of benefit to you. So let's get back to part 2 of this trade. Just wait till you see what happens next. And this is just waiting patiently, and then all of a sudden, boom, it busted out. Now, if people who were not in that trade, some people set up and they got into the trade right after this this candle broke out there. Some other folks in the chat room, but I still am in half of this trade. Boom, it broke up above 28, and look at the volume come in. Ooh, doggies, here we go. Again, volume always confirms price action. There's another pearl of wisdom there I just gave you for trading. And now it broke up here. Now this is the pivot line here, and it went up here, broke through it, and then came right back to it here. Maybe this is going to be a line of support and resistance, or a line of resistance on the way up, or could now be support once it broke it. And we have the even $29 amount up here now. And look at the volume still coming in here. And we're going to move it on up from there. Boom, boom, boom. It just blew right through the $29. This is kind of cool, isn't it now? All right, so I'm bringing my stop up here, just under that pivot line, and boom, it's now getting a little overextended here from the 29, where the 8 EMA is, right at $29. But I'm going to keep it here to give it a little bit of room to pull back here, and let's see where it goes from there. And boom, 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 it's still going, still going. Look at that. Now it's at 20 and right at $30, right at 30 even dollar amount. Bringing my stop up here on the second half, staying under this 8 EMA. Look how overextended it is. It's right at an even dollar amount. It's starting to stall there. Maybe it's going to pull way back. Now I'm pulling it back here just around the 2940 area, 2942-ish. So I still have this 2950 as a possible shield. I have the 8 EMA, but it's a little overextended, likely to snap back. So I don't want to have too tight of a stop there. All right, now we're high basing here and using this $30 area as support now once it broke it. And let's see here. Okay, it's just going to hang around here. It's getting used to the new altitude, as I like to say. The volume is still relatively high, but let's see where it goes from here. Boom! There it goes. It just popped out again. What do you know? Now look at that. So I'm bringing my stop up here right about 29 in 29 to low 90s. Again, if it drops back below this 8 EMA, actually I'm going to keep along this 8 EMA because it's way overextended. It's now at $31. Not only is that $31, but look at that. Can you see this little tiny tick line there? That's the closing line. That's where it closed. Remember, it gapped down 12%, and it now has completely filled that gap. That's right. Yes, the market is up over 300 points, but it was bad earnings on this one, and it was down. It came back and it completely filled a gap. But look at what happened. It hit that $31 closing line, and then it pierced through it and then snapped back down. It couldn't break it. The closing line is the strongest line of support and resistance on the market because of the memory. So not only for the broad market indexes, but also for each individual stock, just like this. So watch what happens. So I'm pulling my stop here along this 8 EMA. I think I had it at $30.48. Watch this now. What a surprise. It pulled off. It never closed above $31 and that closing line area. Didn't close above there, just pierced it, came right back down, stopped me out, and my fill was at $30.43 for 10.4% on that second half. Ooh-ah. So let's take a look here at this whole trade here. So here was a bull pullback right down here. Then I got in. It went up here, and when it stalled at the 28 even dollar area, I got out half. And then Again, I have no idea if or when it's going to happen. I was in the right place at the right time there. Boom, it took off, and look at the volume as it went up there. Then as it based there, it kind of was lower volume, and then it broke out again on bigger volume. So every time it broke out was on big volume. That's another nugget there that we teach in mentoring classes, that the volume confirms the price action. And then finally, when it did fall, look at how big the volume was when it did fall below that 8 EMA and take me out. Wow, that's right. So this total trade was for 5.9% in 38 minutes. Whew. Well, there you have it. That is the trade of the day with all those nuggets of information. Everything from filling the gap, how strong the closing line is, the fact that one other thing here is that never try to get in and out at the exact high or the exact low. You'll drive yourself crazy. Just like great fishermen, when they catch a big fish, what do? They cut off the head and the tail. They just keep the meat of the fish. In trading, it's the same thing. You're never going to get in at the bottom, never going to get out at the top. But you can certainly live on just the meat of your trades. This is Mark the Meerkat. Trade well, and may your winners run.